tool number 2 for assessing your website is the think, feel, do test.
Right. So then these are the 3 psychological triggers I hinted at earlier. So this is all happening very fast. It's all subconscious, and your different parts of the brain are doing different things. So the frontal cortex is your rational brain, and it's reading words. So it's going to read some words on the homepage. Now, the truth about websites is that nobody's really reading paragraphs. What we're all doing is scanning. So you need a scannable headline, 5 words, something like that, on that think test to say, this is what we do very fast. And that's why we use digital marketing that puts people first.
And so that's the clarity statement.
That's the clarity statement. Yeah.
That's
the think test. What words are on my page that are saying I'm in the right spot here? The other thing that's going on is what we call the feel test. And this is a different part of the brain. This is the emotional center that's saying, do I feel good about this or not? And this has to do with largely the big picture that's on your homepage and the design and colors. So does it feel nice? So I'll give you an example. If you're at the beach and you decide that you want fish and chips for lunch, and you look across to the shops that are opposite the beach and there's a fish and chip shop there, you go, great, that's what I want. So your frontal cortex has read the words and said fish and chips, bingo, tick. So then you walk
Makes
up.
sense. Yeah.
You walk up there, and as you're about to enter, it looks a little bit dingy in there. Maybe the lights are low, or the floor's dirty, or maybe the people behind the counter don't look very clean, or the bain-maries look like they've been there since 1978. Or
we've all been to one of these shops, so you go, oh.
Yeah, but you're not analysing that. You're just going, oh, like there's this emotional response. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Then the rational thing will catch up and go, no, I'm out of there. So you can get a tick for the think test, and then you can get the thumbs down for the feel test. And a shop's actually a really good example, because shops are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars often on just making it feel nice. I want the shopping experience to feel good. And websites, they don't need to spend that much money, but they need to feel nice. So the picture, your brain absorbs images 60,000 times faster than words. So you're going to hit that 5-word clarity statement, you're going to hit that image, and you're going to go and you're going to get a mental picture very quickly of whether you like this or not, based on 2 parts of your brain. So that's the second one. The third one is the do. And people are basically saying, all right, if I'm in the right place, what's next? So you want some call to action. Contact us, get in touch, buy now, get a quote, whatever that might be. Now, people aren't going to do that in the first 10 seconds, but they want to know what's next. And they want the page to potentially draw them down, so that you start scrolling down and they start getting more and more triggers as you go. But we're just above the fold. You're going to do the think, feel, and the do test.
Okay, I've got so many questions for this. I love listening to you explain this. So, I guess my first question, and hopefully other people are thinking this too, is so when you're looking at your website and say you're going to redo your website, do you start with the clarity statement? Is that step number 1? Is to think about that and
I
get
think
that
that's
right?
probably a good place to start.
Okay.
And this is what people typically do. In my chiropractor example is a classic example. They want to say something poetic or clever or interesting or quirky or funny, or they're trying to be unique. Now, uniqueness is very important in marketing. I don't want to downplay that. But if we're going to pass the 10-second rule, we need to be clear, not unique. There's plenty of time to create uniqueness.
There's other spots to be
plenty
unique,
of time. But you've got to get past this first test.
Yeah.
If they just clicked back, who cares how unique? They click back because they're confused, right? Who cares how unique you are? They're gone. So trying to boil your business down to 5 words is difficult.
I know we spend a lot of time in our playbook process doing this for clients. Some heated discussions internally about what it should be.
The most argued section of any playbook, which is our 12-month digital marketing planning process, is often spent on this, because we're trying to summarize 30 hours of work doing the playbook into 5 words.
5 to 10 words, just such a short term.
I would almost say on the side of being boring. Like, just because clear clarity is
Clear
what
is
matters.
Yeah, that's what the goal of
That's
that
right.
line, that short sentence. It's really about that clarity. So, the next question I had then. So you mentioned then, okay, once we've got the clarity statement locked in, then you said the next thing is that the field test. People want to feel that they're in the right spot. So you've got an image. Now, I've seen a lot of websites. Some have videos. We
Yeah.
have a video for the OnlineCo. Some have images. Does it matter if you have an image or a video?
I have a bit of a personal preference for a video because I think it can tell a much greater story over the course of the 10 seconds. And the video might, in truth, go for
Okay.
15 seconds or a bit longer. You can tell a bit of a
Yep.
story. And what
Yep.
does it that people want to feel? Well, they want it to look nice. They want it to look professional and like inviting. But what the other
Yep.
thing people are wanting to see is uh, they're wanting to see you, and they're wanting to see you interact with the customer because they're wanting to go, how's this going to go for me? Uh, are these people
Yeah.
jerks, or like what are they going to be like? Are they
Yeah.
going to trying to manipulate and sell me stuff, or do they look like friendly people? And so, if you can get a video of you interacting with your customers, maybe sitting at a table if you're a mortgage broker, or maybe if you're in a shop serving somebody, or I don't know, whatever the environment might look like. If you're in a care organization showing care for somebody and you can show your
Mm.
face, over the millennia, humans have learnt to look at other humans' faces, specifically their eyes. So a rule of thumb, and by rule of thumb I mean it's a rule that's not a rule all the time. It's like a 90% rule. There are times to break it, but a rule of thumb is to have faces, and if it can be your face
Mm.
and your customer's face, or even somebody pretending to be a customer, if that's a little bit awkward, and there can be in some industries, um, and you working together, that's a real story you're telling of safety to people,
Mm.
and it will feel good. So the video does that, but an
Yeah.
image can do that too. So don't say no to the image. Like, obviously the video's more expensive and take more time to build. So a great still picture. One thing not to do though is the scrolling banners. The research has been out
Okay.
for quite some time. I, I'm thinking 2014 or something. It's been quite some years saying that people don't watch all of
No,
them.
I definitely don't.
And yeah, and often you'll have a different message on each, so then you lose the clarity statement because you're trying to do three clarity statements, which isn't clear anymore. And the research is just that they don't work very well.
Yeah, it's a good point that you make around having pictures of you and your
Yeah,
team in or video images or video of that, because particularly if your service is one that's a bit more higher end and has a higher, say, monthly retainer, or it's just a one-off cost but it's quite expensive. You as a consumer, you want to feel like you
yeah,
the
yeah,
people or the person that you're contacting sort of before you even do
yeah,
contact them. I know myself, I often find myself going to the about section of a website, and if I can't see who works there, like their actual faces, I'm like, I don't know how I feel, like I'm just contacting some random organization. Like you do want to have that little bit of sort of authenticity about it, I
yeah. And I think,
suppose.
like, on a kind of very fundamental level, maybe 1,000 years ago, if you were living in a village or something, you and somebody came into the village, you'd be looking at their face to say, "Is this my friend? Or is this my enemy?
Yeah.
Are they going to come and do business with me or be nice to me? Or are they going to try and burn my house down?" Like, this kind of ancient
Yeah,
idea that we look at people's faces and going, how's this going to
friend
go?
or foe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
friend or foe,
Yeah.
exactly. I was just thinking something fairly primal and basic there. But it just makes a
Yeah,
lot of
definitely.
sense.
Okay, okay. Now I have one last question in around this think, feel, do. So the third step is around do, and so that's you mentioned like the
Yeah.
call to action button. Now, this does it matter what the call to action button says? How do you know what to put there? Like, I think a lot of people might just say like next steps or something like
Well,
that, and like,
my
is
pet
that
my pet peeve
helpful
is
or
learn
not?
more. It's like,
Learn
yeah, I
more.
don't
Okay,
like that
so
one.
note that down, everyone. Don't have learn more.
Well, basically, you're clicking off to a page of what? Like, yeah,
Of what you don't know what you're learning
and
more
also you're
about.
often kind of telling people to click. It's like the internet's been around for
Mm.
20, well, probably close to the 30 years now. We know how to click on pages. Yeah, you
We know
don't
we
need
need
to
to
tell me
click
to
this
click.
button
Yeah, we
here.
know how that
Yeah.
works. So what you want to do is what's the first step in your sales process? What is that thing? For us, we have a 5-minute chat with people on the phone. We're just making sure that they're a fit and we can help them. So we put in book a quick chat. So we're just hooking people straight into the first stage of the sales process.
Yeah, so people know, oh, the next step
Is
is about
this?
booking in to have a
Yeah.
call, right?
The other thing we're doing is we're deliberately downplaying the next step. We're not saying free 1 hour strategy session because then people are like, oh, 1 hour. Guess
I've
what?
got to
I'm going to
put
get
an hour in.
sold to
Yeah.
on that 1 hour. And so we're saying, hey, just book a quick chat. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And genuinely, when people call us, if they're not a fit, that's fine. We can point them in the right direction. And, we're not trying to sell to people. We're just trying to find people that we can genuinely help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look at your sales process. If you don't have a sales
Yeah.
process, go and get a sales process and then hook people into the first
Yes,
one.
and then
Yeah,
come
you
back.
need that.
Yeah.
Don't do marketing without a sales process. That's a very bad idea. The other thing is that is another rule of thumb, 90% of the time, not all the time, have your phone number in the top right-hand corner. So when you come to a website, there's certain things you look for. The
Yep.
logo is always in the top left-hand corner. You can put it somewhere else if you like, but you're just making people work a bit harder. Don't
Harder.
don't make
Yeah.
people work hard. And then the phone number, it's like, oh, I want to call these people. Where's the number? Where's the contact us button? Hang on, they scroll to the bottom, look in the foot. Okay, don't make it hard for people to contact you. Like, make it as
I
easy
know
as
you.
possible. Put the phone number in the top
That's
right hand
right.
corner, and so they can call you easily. And just obviously, if you're an e-commerce store or you work part time or something, you don't want people calling you. Don't put it there. That makes sense. In that case, if you're e-commerce, you can put your card up there, or there's other things you can put up.
You might put a contact email address, a sales email
Something,
address,
yeah,
something like that, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it should also be in a contrasting color. So most websites will have
Okay.
two,
Good point. Yeah.
like a primary and a secondary color. Ours is sort of
Mm.
uh, grey and red, and then there's a tertiary color, which is like I don't know what, actually don't know what to call it. It's like a greeny,
It's like a,
light green.
yeah, like a green,
So
light green. It's not aqua.
somebody's got to go,
No.
it's this color,
It's someone. Yeah. Someone will
sage
know.
green,
Someone
something like
smarter than
that.
us.
Um,
Yeah.
make it either the secondary or the tertiary color. For us, we've made it
Yeah.
red, most of the bright red, so it pops out off the sort of black and white background. So the call to action, bang, it's like very clear, and it looks
It's right there.
buttony, looks like a button. It's quite obvious that
Yeah.
that's the next thing to do. So just calling people's attention to that. Now, if you've done those three
Nice.
things in the 10 seconds, people are going to go, I've read that I'm in the right place. I feel like I'm in the right place. I know what the next step is. And then you've passed the 10-second. You've passed 10 seconds. Now, what's interesting is people don't go from 10 seconds to like 15 or 16 seconds. It's not like you get this extra bump.
Mm.
They go from 10 seconds to, all right, I'm going to research this now. And then they might stay for 90 seconds or 180 seconds. Like the amount of time goes up dramatically. Yeah, because
Dramatically.
I'm in
Yeah.
the right place. Now I'm researching this business. I'm not looking for a digital marketing company. I'm looking at the OnlineCo. Do they do the things I need? Yeah,
I
and,
need.
and, and then
Yeah.
you're looking at
And
social media,
yeah.
whatever else it is you do when you research a business.
Yeah, it's such an interesting point that you make. That people, if you get past the 10 seconds, it's not like people just stay for an extra 5 or 10 seconds after that. They're there often for minutes, several
Yeah,
minutes longer, depending on the type of research they're doing or where they're at in their stage of buying and research and buying. So